Alrighty, we're good to go.
All right, perfect. Hold on, let me bump. All right. Welcome everyone to the final interrogation room. Our two finalists, Jacob Adorno and Keaton, have battled it out for the entirety of this season to determine who is going to be the ultimate conspiracist. The individuals that they have had a hand either directly or indirectly in declassifying from this game will now have a chance to interrogate the final two before ultimately making the decision as to who will be crowned the ultimate conspiracist. The winner of Kaleidoscope Season 4, Rookies versus Veterans, and a Venmo of $100. Cash App and Zelle also are possibilities. Whatever works for the winner. We will get you your money. All right. So the way this night is going to work is our finalists are going to deliver opening statements. The person that goes first will be determined by our final mission winner, Jacob. And then the jurors will each have 10 minutes of time between each of them for the finalists. Then at the very end, the finalists will get a 5 minutes closing statement. Then the agency will vote. They are going to determine who is going to be the winner. And then we will bring in all of the pre-jury and everybody will get a chance to participate in viewing of the reading of the votes. And then we will get to a fun little reunion where we'll get to celebrate, laugh, enjoy all of the things that made Kaleidoscope Season 4 a phenomenal season. So, if you are ready, Jacob, who did you decide is going to speak first? Jacob has decided himself, which means that you will also get to speak last at the conclusion. So I am going to start a clock that says 5 minutes. You will see me pop up on camera when there is a 1 minute left with the timer running. Okay. I will count you down in 3. Are you ready? Good. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, jury. I'm coming into this game wanting to change the way I play. I want to experiment. I want to learn to adapt. I come into the game playing a clean, under the radar, social strategic game. But in this game, I wanted to take risks. I look at my OG Templar tribe and I see a lot of potential for me to foster meaningful relationships. And I do not start. I do not stop. Night zero, right afterwards, me and Jay got on a call immediately, lock in that final two. We were boys to the end. Have the spellcasters with Brian, squirting and farting with Karen, the hoe in the hole with Corey. I have a very strong final two with Kevin as well. I did not rest from day one, second one in this game. I want to be able to position myself well. And at the first tribal, I see two crossroads with both Corey and Jay each telling me about a plan to blindside Karen that first round. With Corey wanting to build a resistance to take out Nick, who's the spearhead of this move, with an idol in his possession, and Jay to help me enact this plan to ensure that the split occurs and it's 4-3-1 Karen going, not 4-3-1-1 Nick going. I chose the former, seeing that Karen has a lot of connections on the opposite tribe, and I want to be the beneficiary of those connections. And from then on, I create a final three alliance with myself, Brian, and Kevin called the Unfinished Business. I see Brian on my tribe as someone who's I'm proud with, and I want to say to link up with someone who has a duo themselves that they fear will be targeted as a pair. So we have an intertribal alliance with Kevin and Allie. And from then on, because we not only get Nick out, but we're successful in getting Susie out, we have Jay and Marvin on one side, Karen and Corey on one another. And with Kevin receiving hinky votes and being the decoy vote for a lot of people, and Brian being the object of many skepticism, I was the one in the center and in control of OG Templar. Going into the negotiation, Kian advocates for me to be on his tribe. And I see, despite the numbers advantage, an opportunity for me to foster more strong relationships with the OG Freemasons. So Kian and Buckley both want to work with me. I'm able to solidify and gain Ali's loyalty come the swap. And I reunite with Marcelo, who I haven't played with in a while, but I know that we worked and gone very far in the past together. And although I do lose Brian, I set up the plan so that I get the least amount of blood on my hands. I'm the one who told Brian to tell Ali that her name was out there and to give her that idol. I was the one that voted Marcelo and told Brian to vote Ali, because either way, I see this as a win-win. Either I succeed in idling Marcelo out after Ali had already targeted both Buckley and Kean pre-swap and had Brian and Corey presented to her as decoy votes to where I could continue to be in the best position on my swap tried, or it fails and Brian is the one catching the heat because I have my alibi. Brian's the one doing the dirty work for me, and I could come into the merge as a free agent. Coming to the live night, I win HOH and veto, knowing about Kevin's idol and hoping that he plays it and still has it in play to maximize the chance of one of my nominees going home. Hoping I could follow up on taking out whomever the other surviving nom is coming to the merge. And going into jury, I am on the opposite side of LJ. The ringleader or the figurehead of the opposing OG Freemason majority. And from then on, I have this target painted on my back, someone who's physically good and be really good in challenges, someone who was voted in touchy subjects as the one with the best strategy, and someone who notoriously comes into these games preaching a strong social game. So I need to solidify the relationships I need to so I can not only win favor over LJ, but I would also be positioned well enough to continue to take control of the game. So at 11, I fight for Kevin to stay over Ali. And while I do not succeed, I am one of the only people who knew about Ali's extra vote. I knew where all the votes were going. And I almost pull off the flip with Keaton, Corey, and Karen's backing, although Karen decides to vote for Kevin to pacify LJ. At 10, although I'm handcuffed to Mike, I see this as an opportunity to foster a stronger personal relationship with Mike, knowing my history with him, knowing with Seb as well. And through my connections with Corey, Karen, and Keen, they are willing to keep me. I'm the only one with multiple votes at the end of the night, despite the fact that Jay and Ali can't communicate with me and can't tell me the LJ plan without alarming Mike. At 9, although I failed to keep Ali safe, I'm able to get Marcelo out at 8, although I do catch some heat. At 7, I win the immunity to stick my neck out. Again, I want to come into this game taking risks. And even though I saw the favor going Crispy's way, I stuck my neck out and I kept my foot grounded to get Crispy out with Jay's idol. At 6, I am saved despite being this jury threat. At 5, I don't get shot at. And 4 and 3, I win those final immunities. I wanted to come into this game being well-rounded, physically, socially, and strategically. And I know that I have lots of questions. I know that there's some jurors who may question my decision to take Key into the final 2 over Corey, but I'm more than happy and excited to explain my game.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. Keaton, it is now your time. Are you ready?
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
This game still feels like it's going. Like 38 days later, my mind is still spinning, and this has been an absolute roller coaster of a game. This has been so much fun no matter what, and I'm glad that I get to pitch it against Jacob and to have played it with all of you and to be hosted by everyone here. It's just been an absolute joy. As for my game, it was, in simple terms, a giant building and setup to 5. When I heard the game mechanic of the assassin, I played my game based around solidifying myself there. Nothing mattered if I couldn't get past that hurdle in my mind. So when I was figuring out who I wanted to work with throughout this game, it was always loud voices and people with strong strategic minds that I felt like could be pushed in front of me at a later point, and to try and play a lower key game where I'm not the one who is the ringleader of votes or the one put as that's the person who made the move. Throughout the game, I'm always trying to find someone else that is going to be that. And throughout the game at different points, I had LJ and Jacob and Buckley and Karen and Corey. To me, these people were the most important parts of my game consistently and fluidly throughout the entire game. Buckley being my ultimate final two that I did end up accidentally getting him out, but I felt like it was the most important thing for my game to happen. Yes, I trusted Buckley. Yes, I was not happy it happened, but that broke the game open for me because I'm not tying myself to anyone anymore, and I'm truly playing for myself. I did get saved at 14. I feel like due to the social bonds that I did build with the people that did end up keeping me, and because with those bonds they were able to get Mike to ultimately flip, which is the reason I even had a chance. And then at the swap, I was able to advocate for my best position, most importantly, not having Sam with me. That's really the only thing I cared about. Everything else was gravy. Sam being away means that he couldn't screw me with any possible advantages that he quite openly stated that he had, whether they were real or not. And then the biggest accident in this game, just forgetting to vote Brian, and voting Allie on accident. I knew about the plan. I knew that Brian was going to get votes, and I knew that it flipped. I just forgot to change my vote, but I took that mistake and ran with it for strategic edge and claimed that I didn't know because I did end up voting Allie, and I used that to my advantage, and I felt like that helped solidify my relationship with Jacob even later on when I tell him the truth. It might have not been what I meant to do, but I still used it to my advantage. And that happened more than once, again with the Kevin vote. Not what I wanted, but I still felt like I could make do with it. And there was edges to why Kevin ultimately left. While I didn't feel like they were needed, it did help to set up something that was very important for the game to break open for myself, which was LJ leaving. LJ had a tight grip on a lot of people in this game, and I felt like a lot of people trusted him closely. The setup was so perfect. We were already talking about getting him out, and then with 4 of the 5 of us voting, being the 4 people that discussed it, it was all setting into place quite easily. Plus, take the L Jacob. That was fun to do. I'm never gonna get over that one, even if Jay did tell you later. But still loved it. And then with Marcel, though, I'd like to importantly say Jacob did not do that. He was left out of the workings of how that happened. Myself, Karen, and Corey knew that we were putting the votes onto Corey to then get Marcelo out. Jacob did not have a hand in that. He was left out. He wanted Marcelo out, yes, but he did not do that. And at the end game, he lost control. I helped get Ali out despite what Jacob wanted. I did not get Crispy out, but I was on the right side of the vote at the end of the day. And Jacob's claiming he didn't know about the idol, and now suddenly that he does. I don't know which one is true at this point, and I can't tell that from myself either. At 6, Jay needed to go as I felt like he was the only person left that would not consider taking me the final 2. And then Karen leaving was a blessing. I did not control that, but I wanted her at 5 for the possibility of her getting shot. And then at 4 and 3, at 4, I was not voting Jacob anyways. It was just nice that he got that. So that way it was easier to convince Corey to vote Mike. And then at final 3, I was not winning that challenge, but even if I could, I would have purposely thrown it because I believed either of them would take me because the other one was either pitching for them or just a bigger threat in their eyes. In my mind, I didn't see that, and I feel like I'm able to continue to explain and show you why my game is worth it. Thank you for you guys' time, and I hope that we have a fantastic final tribal.
Thank you, Keaton. All right. The person that has requested to go first from the agency is Mike. Mike, are you ready?
Always.
Then I will count you down and your 10 minutes will begin. I will come back on camera when you have a minute left to show you the counting clock. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, first off, congratulations to both of you. You both look exquisite tonight. Jacob, I'm going to start with you. You said you were playing under the radar to start the game, but I was never in a wiretap room with you. We had no cross-channel communications with each other, and I still knew you were running the show over on OG Templar, so you weren't that under the radar. And then coming into the merge, again, I'm told constantly Jacob's this amazing social player. Jacob's the most insulated. Jacob's the best, most charismatic person in the game. I didn't see that. And I didn't see that because the conversations I had with you, I felt there was just a lot of buttering up. There was a lot of telling me what I wanted to hear. And anytime I came to you with a question that I knew you knew the answer to it, I would just get a lot of, oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. I don't know. And you said that we built a strong social bond through us being handcuffed together. And yeah, that was a fun day. That was a lot of fun that day. We did kind of just make the most out of that advantage together. But my question for you is, if you said you were building strong social bonds with people in the game and you were played a good social game, can you please tell me 3 things you learned about me in this game that don't involve Zeb?
Absolutely. And before I actually answer this, I do at least want to explain why I came into the game reassessing, because I usually do play the under the radar game. I knew that I have to assume a different position. I wanted to take bigger risks. I knew that I was going to put myself further out in front, and I come in here with a reputation that I usually don't come into this game with. Coming into the merge, I was this touted as this big giant threat, and I didn't feel like I was in a position where I could play under the radar. Sure, Keaton insists that I lose control, but I think it's because most people knew I couldn't gain control due to my win equity and due to my massive threat level. So 3 things I did learn about you. For one, you broke your, well, actually, wait, technically that does involve Seb. First thing, I know you're a huge fan of Pokemon. We did not talk about this much, but watching the intro videos, I did a dossier, almost like a cast assessment of everybody and just interesting facts that I felt I could bond with them about. And that was just one thing too. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I've been playing since Gen 5 ever since and been attending day 1 releases to every subsequent generation.
Damn, you're young. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know. I remember when we were talking, I want to say it was Final 10, Final 9. Our first legit call was immediately after we had merged with one another. And while, of course, this wasn't revolve around Seb, but we ordered a Domino's pizza the same day we both ordered pizza. I ordered from New Haven when we were talking about just mutual places like in Bristol and Torrington that we go to be able to enjoy. So separate little pizza spots that we enjoy with. And it's minuscule and it's super irrelevant in the grand scheme of things in the scope of this game. I didn't gain any favor by talking about stuff like that, but the small conversations mean a lot to me. And the third thing is, I know how hard you work in the hospital. You were sick, you had the sore throat, you were hoarse, you weren't feeling all that well. And while it was admittedly stupid of me to ask, wait, how did you get sick when you work in a hospital? I empathize with that because I also want to go into that field. I want to be able to work in a hospital. You're going for your GED. I'm going for my PhD. I want to be able to become a therapist moving forward. So for me, I think we're both achieving and aspiring to do the same things in life. And I had an immense amount of respect for you.
So just to kind of follow that up too, you say at the alley vote, there was one part that stuck out with me around that, where you said you didn't get your way, but I specifically remember during that time, Keaton had told me that the word temper tantrum wasn't used, but he essentially had to talk you off the ledge at that point. Was that a case of you not getting your way and you being pissed off about that?
Yes and no. Like, of course, I see the touchy subjects results and see just how big of a threat that I am and see that maybe I am losing some leverage. I am losing some social capital due to my threat level and due to the fact that this would just be a horrible look for other people to let me take the steering wheel, to let me take control. I'm upset that I don't get my way because I want Marcelo at that point. That was my last nominee. And Ali was someone who I had a strong intertribal relationship with due to my relationship with Kevin. So I really want Ali to stay in that position. What's up?
No, I just don't want to. I do want to get to Keaton though. I
apologize. So I am very upset I don't get my way, but I knew it was the game. And between Ali and Corey, I knew Ali going was better.
Okay, no, I appreciate it. Keaton, I feel like you really did help me get my footing in this game after LJ got voted out. You were the first person I came to and really started talking strategy with outside of my alliance at that point, and I do appreciate you kind of giving me a lay in this game. The only question I have for you is we had made a deal at Final 5 that if the votes were coming either one of our way at Final 4, we would send the other one to fire. And you didn't do that for me. And you had told me, at that point you were leading me. So I don't think you, so I know you didn't lie to me then. Why did I not deserve the chance to go to fire against Corey?
I wouldn't say you didn't deserve it at this point. From 6 to that point, like, yeah, I didn't control Karen going, but it helped build what I was going to do. I felt like you were the last person that might have had an inkling to not take me to the end. Meanwhile, Jacob and Corey, I knew for a fact did. See, now with this, I could make a different decision, but from my perspective, from
Well,
how I'm
I
seeing things,
told you I was willing to take you to the end, though.
I know, but I know throughout the game that you have had a lot of these strategic conversations or tried to with a lot of people consistently. I've had notes compared with that. So while I wanted to trust your word, I went with the two words that I had a stronger faith in based on what I knew about what they were doing in their game
So I guess
and what was going on.
So I guess given that circumstance where Jacob was immune, you sent me to fire against Corey. If we go to final three and I won, did you not think I would take you to the end at that point? You think I would take Jacob?
I think there is a chance because I know that Corey was starting to talk to me about the idea of possibly Jacob not being as big as a threat as he was, and if he was saying that to me, is he saying that to you as well to try and cast that doubt? I didn't want to risk anything. I wanted to go for the most surefire option. I didn't feel good breaking my word to you because I did want to stick with it, but given the situation, it made the most sense for me getting to the end to do that because I could with 95% assurance not win that challenge and feel like I'm in the end anyways. With you, I think it goes to like 75%. I'm still confident, but it's not full blown from my perspective, from how where I see everything.
No, I get that. No, and I appreciate that. So okay. I think I got what I needed for both of y'all. Topher, I'll yield the rest of my time. Congratulations to both y'all. This was so much fun playing this game with y'all. Congratulations and good luck tonight, y'all.
All right. Mike has yielded his time, which means we are going to bring in the next member of the agency, the man none of us thought would make it here as a member of the agency, except, of course, them. Kevin, please come in as agency member number 1. Are you ready?
Yes, but can you say that I'm in the agency again? I think that's just something we really need to reiterate.
Yes.
No, in all seriousness,
Wait,
very
I have not
excited.
started your time yet.
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
In 3,
Who's going to talk more, me or Jacob? That's the real question. Anyway.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right. First of all, very excited to see the both of you here. This is a very interesting, some may say exquisite final two. Yeah, in general, I really don't have like a ton of questions, mainly because, listen, I'm the first fucking juror. So much of what people are going to ask you, I have zero relevance on, zero information on. I'm not the best person to ask the question. So I think I'm going to keep it a little bit more general than some other people will. So I will kind of give you an idea of some of the things we talked about in the roundtable that I think might be brought up tonight. So I'll start off talking to Keaton. Keaton, a big thing people talked about in the pre-jury was the fact that like you played a really strong game in the jury, but the pre-jury game was kind of messy. So I want you to give me just an example of what you think your best move was in the pre-jury that got you to this point.
Sure. I think in the pre-jury, my strongest move was the setup of the negotiation room. I was not afraid to be quite loud with what I wanted and to try and get my way the best I could. It was the people I was going to be playing at least the next couple of rounds with based on what it looked like. So I was making sure I got enough of my way to where I felt completely comfortable. And it did start with asking Mike, hey, Mike, you're the reason I'm here. Which one of the three of us do you want to be with? Knowing full well he's not saying mine and Buckley's name. I want Buckley on my end. So it started from the moment we started talking to get as much as my way as possible. Yes, in a traditional sense, it's not a move, but it was 4 people deciding the swap. And me being a part of those 4 people, it set getting my way pretty much what I wanted, allowed me to have the connection with Jacob that I wanted and didn't even hide that I wanted it. And that with that plus being with Corey allowed me to build the bonds that I thought were necessary to carry myself into the jury phase to have that strong game. Without doing that, I might not have as strong of a game as I am able to show now.
Right. And conversely, Jacob, I think a big thing that went on within the roundtable is a lot of people were saying, yes, Jacob played this great game in the pre-merge, but in the merge, it just seemed like he didn't really know what was going on. And so, similar to Keaton, what do you think was your best move in the merge that got you to this point? And winning comps is not one of them.
Absolutely not. Of course, winning competitions gave me the security of seen the lay of the land, having as the most options of anybody possible. I mean, obviously, the people who are not immune can't vote for the person who's immune. So I could choose most between everyone. To dispute that, yes, I was less in control and directly operating and deciding who ended up going home, but I knew who the votes were going. I knew who were the targets. I knew who was connected to who was close with who was relaying information to whom. So my biggest game move, I don't like using the word big. I see opportunities for me to make subtle moves, to make slight moves, to make moves that could slightly curry me some favor, to slightly maybe take some risk. I think my biggest move was going to be taking out Crispy, regardless of how the round played out. Of course, Keaton talks Corey off the ledge after me and Jay initially are able to convince him to vote off Crispy. In that position, I'm thinking of who do I use my safety without power on? And because to me, that's going to be able to be a big determinant because there's no position to split the votes at this point. And I opt for Mike for two reasons. One, in the event that any advantage is going to be played, I think most likely Karen would be the one to play it. Karen had expressed huge concerns about her potentially being the target at that point. Crispy had just played an idol at 9. Mike just played an idol at 8. I think that if there are any other advantages that I do not know about, one of Corey or Karen would have it, but Karen was primarily the focus of that. And two, I wanted to paint Mike as this jury threat, as somebody whom everyone adored, who wreaked this trustworthiness about him and fostered these great relationships with people, had not pissed anybody off. He votes you off, but Ali was super complimentary with him on her way out. He doesn't vote off LJ. He doesn't vote off Marcelo. And in that position, I can force his hand to not vote off Crispy. Was he someone that I felt like was going to oblige with this plan? No, but I felt like at that point, I need to set up Mike to be another target in front of me because I've done enough in this game and I've failed to get my way in a way where I think that my jury threat was waning. And I need another threat on the level of Karen to be taken out at a hypothetical 5 or 4. Keaton's telling me he would have shot at Mike. He wasn't shooting at Karen at 5. And I think I played a part in not only putting his name out there, but trying to put that target on his back. Because I need other targets aside from myself in the end game.
All right. Topher, how much time do I have?
5 minutes even. Starting.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I will ask this one last question, though, that I had on my mind for a little bit, and I think it's a good one to ask. So both of you have been in quite a few Final Twos before. I just kind of want to know, why do you think this is the one you should win? Why should you win? Why should Kaleidoscope be the one that you win? And either one can go first. I don't care.
You just talked, Jacob, so I'll go ahead. So for me, when I got to Final Two, once I got off the call with Jacob, I cried. This was very emotional for me. I was coping through a lot of feelings throughout this game, the biggest being constant anxiety at every single round. Not being able to show up to things because I just physically couldn't take it. And it's because the game I didn't think I could play again, which was truly for myself and doing whatever I could to set myself. I haven't done that in years. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's never been a selfish for me game. And to be able to know I can still do that, and especially on my way out where I'm after the other game I'm currently in, I'm done for a while. It felt so incredible to do that and actually get here. So that the win would mean so much after 6.5 years of playing these games. Just to have it, like, to know I can play the game that I love to play while still coping with these emotions that are very new to me still. It will be an incredible feeling.
All right, Jacob.
And for me, I just came off another game where I just made it to Final Tribal Council, playing a completely drastically different game. Like said earlier, people were toning me as this great social player, but I feel like that's not alone. It's not going to take me to the end. It's not going to garner the respect of the jury. I come into this game wanting to challenge myself. I've already made it to the end at this point. So what else do I have to lose? Let me throw a name out. Let me leak information. Let me make all those final twos. Let me make sure that I'm not only in the best position possible, but I take the opportunity to actually assert myself and try to get my way, because I play a very timid and very shy and very safe game where I'm just going along with the crowd. Or I have opportunities that are just handed to me from other people's work, trying to get targets who, yes, I want out as well, but I put in none of the legwork in order to be able to make that happen. I'm nearly a number that's recruited. In this game, I was not that. I come into the merge with this giant target on my back, this cloud that lingered over me for the entire duration of the game, which changed how I had to play, who I needed to play up to, how I needed to approach each day, what conversations do I need to have, what lies do I need to see, what type of way am I going to manipulate somebody. I'm coming to this game playing a more cutthroat, more strategic game, and considering that I just came off of playing my usual way, I saw that blueprint, I ripped it up, I threw it out. I said, and this caliber with this group of people, that's not going to fly. I'm not going to make it to the end. Or if not, I'm not going to garner the respect of the jury. So I think I should, and I'll talk more about this in my closing statement about what this game means to me. And it's sharing a lot of the same sentiments as Keaton, the anxiety, the stress, the raw emotion that I felt, and the how much this achievement, this accomplishment means to me. 2 games, 74 days, haven't been voted off once in a row. That's an incredible feat. But I think I should win this game due to my hard work, my grit, and my daringness. I think Keaton played more safe than I did. And although I may not have always gotten my way, and I've alienated maybe some people along the way, I'm willing to embrace my game, and I'm happy and I'm proud of it. I don't regret it for a second.
All right. Well, with that said, I will be honest. I kind of came in kind of leaning one way, and now I'm a little bit more 50-50. So my vote is very up in the air, but good luck to both of you. We will see how this goes. And again, good luck hearing from more people who know more about your games than I do. So, woo!
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. So that was Kevin. Now we are going to bring on our next member of the agency, the best Topher impressionist in all of Orgland. I give you LJ. LJ, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Gentlemen, I'm going to cast this vote very happily tonight. I think either of you are a great representation for this season's winner. Both of you outplayed me. Both of you outwitted me. Both of you outlaughed me. But none of you out-Tophered me. And I'm going to fucking hang on to that till the end of time. First things first, each of you has 30 seconds or less. Keaton, you're starting first. Tell me the greatest things about Nala right now. Quick, Nala.
No, okay. Gonna be so real with you. I might have forgotten your dog. I don't want to lie to you.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. Jacob, onto you. That's actually a really big faux pas. Onto you, Jacob.
I will say,
Are you asking about your dog, or you're asking about?
Keaton, you're done. Keaton, you're done. Tell me
King.
something about Nala. Pardon. No fucking shit, because my dog is named Twain, not Nala. We've been through this. Jacob, go on.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Well, voiced by Beyonce in the remake, Nala, Queen, Princess, Legend, the only princess that I've been arguing for a while. Her, Anna should be a princess, but I feel like Nala is at the top of the food chain. I think Lion King, obviously, a phenomenal soundtrack, both the original and the remake. And Nala is to thank for all of that, because Can You Feel the Love Tonight makes people cry. And me too.
Thank you. Now we'll get on to like the real stuff. Keaton, I'm gonna start with you with the real stuff. Don't worry, you didn't completely fuck yourself, but you like nearly completely fucked yourself. So like my impression is that you kind of like stumbled through the first half of the season. You were nearly the first to boot. I think it was more Buckley going absolutely crazy than anything you did that saved you. I was trying to get the target onto Buckley so damn much, but everyone was so damn set on Keaton for some reason. In the second half of the game, like no one's denying you managed it very, very well, like very adeptly. But I'm confused if that's just because there were so many bigger threats than you. Like, how much agency did you actually have in the back half of the game? Because my big question is for you is I don't know how much you controlled, and I know Jacob lost control at a certain point of the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you were the one to pick it up. So tell me why like you were the one to pick it up in the back half of the game.
Sure. I think I picked it up in the sense that my strategy was continuing to work. I had the people that I wanted as the people in front still there, and these people wanted my opinion. my opinion was wanted from them, so I was able to say something and it be listened to and us work together to get that thing accomplished. I think necessarily without those people, can I do the things I do? No, and I will own that bluntly. I played a game that was for myself, but the things would not have happened without other people. I will own that, and I'll say that honestly. But I still think I controlled enough for my game to be set up in the way it was. With my input, Allie helps leave. With my input, you help leave. Yes, Karen did want you out because of conversations that happened between you two to a degree, but I helped push that. In addition, I convinced Karen to put all the votes onto you instead of split it and claim that her vote was stolen, forcing her to own her game more and not play the middle that she likes to so much. It was small things, but it helped me keep control and not allow someone like Karen to completely run away and keep her closer to me than she was the win. So yeah, no, I did not have control in the traditional sense where I was saying that we are doing this and then it happened. But I was able to have the relationships with the right people to have the vote go the way I wanted to basically every single time beyond the Kevin vote. Even if an idol was used, it went the way I wanted it to be.
Very, very fair, Jacob. It's the exact same thing in reverse. I really personally value like the full complete game because I know that it's hard to do. And I came into here completely leaning you. I switched over to Keaton, and now after the Nala thing, I'm back to you. But that can fucking change. But everything that I've heard, since I got to the jury, was that your social game that I thought was so great that it wasn't really great, and that you had no agency at the end of it. So how and when did you get what you wanted, and how did you react to when you started to when things start to not go your way? How did you deal with that loss of control and still end up here?
For me, the only time that I feel like I've reacted poorly to me losing control was the Allie vote. I was very adamant that I felt because I suspected that with Allie there, she was going to be in target in a shield in front of us. Someone whom a lot of people, because of the initial targeting of Kevin Allie at the beginning of the merge, was somebody that most people would be content with conceding to and saying, yeah, we could just vote off Allie at that point. Because me, Keaton, Karen, and Corey were in the middle of the game and felt like Allie was the only person outside of this that the minority, so people like Crispy, Marcelo, would potentially target over any one of us. And considering that I was recruited to vote off Corey and I was heavily weighing between the two options, I feel like my affirmations were correct in that assessment. I don't think me losing control was due to any lack of social capital or social game, I think, at this point. Because in spite of me either not getting my way or having this big threat, just like Keaton says, I had the social connections that allowed me to get to the end game to where then, yes, I comp out. But even at Final 4, Keaton insists that he would have thrown me into fire. And in Final 3, yes, he was going to throw it, but he says that he would have taken me over Corey to the end. So in positions where I did not get my way, I needed to recover. So yes, I don't get Kevin to stay over Allie very much due to him, but I still have the relationship with Allie due to all the hard work that I put in with Kevin in the pre-merge. I knew about her extra vote, and she was one of the only people who sent me her vote my way, despite the fact that she didn't communicate this to me. She just instinctively said, I trust Jacob most of the people that cast votes tonight. And when sending you home became the consensus of the majority alliance, I felt like that was great for my game because I felt both me and you were fighting for a lot of the same numbers. I felt both me and you wanted to work with Key and wanted to work with Karen, and I felt like there would be no road where I can work with Crispy and Mike with you there in their ear and working so closely with them to where you can sever that relationship. And moving forward, yes, I don't always get my way, but it plays out. And I'm able to recover not only due to my physical prowess, but due to those connections that I build with Keaton, Karen, Corey, and Jay as well. I haven't really talked about Jay all that much tonight, but me and Jay had a very strong relationship. And that's where a lot of my social game was spent on, because I knew there was a bunch of people paying this target on my back who I knew had no obligations to take me into the end game. So, yeah.
I got to cut you there. That's a good answer. Perfect. Keaton, would you have taken Jacob if you won F3? I know you threw it. Would you have actually taken him if you won?
Gun to head, yes, but again, I was throwing.
Okay.
If it was a thing I could have won, I was throwing.
Okay. Jacob, then quick back at you. Are you aware of your relative chances against Keaton versus Corey? Are you what do you think your chances are of one versus the other?
I think on paper, maybe Corey was an easier being someone that also alienated a lot of the same people, if not even more people than myself. But for me, taking Keaton wasn't an optics about choosing who I think I have the best chance against, but someone who I genuinely wanted to, for me and Keaton to be sitting at the end. Could that be my demise? And could I be paying the price, losing 5-4? I could be losing Yunnan for all the fuck I care. Fine. I'm fine with it, but I wanted to take Keaton to the end.
For someone who lost so much agency in the mid game, to not give himself the silver bullet he needed to assure a victory is something that weighs on me a lot, almost as much as Keaton not knowing my dog's fucking name is Twain and not Nala. We've been through this. Keaton, then the next one, just for you quick, it's Final Five. I heard you were very scared that I was going to shoot you if I got it. Is that true or not? Were you worried at all about that possibility for your game?
I was assuming it would be between myself and Karen because I know I had a heavy impact on it, and I did you a little dirty by talking to you completely normally up until you left, simply because I knew Crispy had an idol. But I knew that because of what I did, there was a real chance I could get shot. I believed Karen would be shot first, but she could talk her way out of it. You're also the only juror I assumed would be able to get the assassin. So in my mind, you're the only person I was thinking of beyond the people in the game that could be it. So
I will say that it was among the most impressive things that happened this game was on night 2. You told me that the 3 people who were going to get the assassin were me, Karen, or Jacob. That was obviously the 3 top vote getters. Like, you had a great deal of perception heading into this. I grant you that. That was honestly the only thing I saw you do in the pre-merge that reeked of anything, bright. But hey, it complimented me, so I'm all about that. So I'll just use my final time to clue up. Whoever told you that I had a good grip on the game, they played both of you, because I had fuck all this entire game. But whoever did it good. I think, again, both of you guys in different ways played, had very good social games, played very well. I don't know what it's coming down to me is I don't know whether to trust what I saw or what everyone's telling me. Because what I saw, it's a clear Jacob win. What everyone's telling me, it's a clear Keaton win. And I'm still not decided where to go from there. But I yield the rest of my time. All 10 seconds. Good luck, guys.
All right. Thank you, Eljan. Up next, we have a video presentation from the one and only Diet Coke enthusiast in this world, and that is Allie. Just 1 second while Jen figures out the technicalities of sharing this video with all of you. And I assure you, it is less than 10 minutes. How long is the video?
2 minutes.
All right. It is a 2-minute video, so I'm not sure what to expect from it, but I believe she's going to be asking questions. So she will have the same 10-minute time frame will exist, and I will just let y'all kind of figure that out.
You hear it? No, you can't. Okay.
can't hear it.
Sorry, I'm not great at screen sharing. Share sounds. Gotta click that one. Let's chat.
To the final 2. You guys absolutely slayed and killed this game. You couldn't. I love you both very dearly, and obviously I can't really make it to the majority of the finale because I'll be working, so I'm just sending my questions now. So I'm gonna be asking a few questions for the both of you. First one, really just explain your games to me, because I know brief things about each of your games, but really give me an in-depth description of your game, so I have more of a reason to vote for you. Also, my next question, what gut song, the album from Olivia Rodrigo, what gut song do you think explains your game best? And Also, one more question. Give me one word to describe your opponent's game. So, Jacob, give a one-word response for Keaton's, and then Keaton do the same for Jacob. Just so, like, I have more of a reason to vote for you guys, and because I'm very open here. Like, I'm just going in pretty open. Like, I could go either way with my vote, so just based on, like, questioning and speech-wise and, like, whose games were more impressive, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to base my vote by. So, but you both absolutely kill it, though. And I wish I could be there. But obviously work is important, so I'm just glad I'm sending my questions now. Good luck to both of you, and may the best person win.
Okay, so she left 7 minutes and 52 seconds on the clock. Whoever would like to speak first, you are welcome to.
I'll go first this time, because Keaton has been going first for a good chunk of these jurors. Well, first off, just explain to my game. Yes, it was contingent on the social relationships I built in the pre-merge and the early jury that was able to get me to this point right here. I knew coming into the merge that I would have a target pain on my back, and which was exacerbated by me winning the HOH and the veto, and for other people to want to gain the loyalty of other people that they know that are close to me. So people like Keaton and Karen curried a lot of favor with other people, and people wanted to work with them, and they felt like taking me out was their best avenue in order to achieve that. So I had to come into this game really leaning into the strategy elements of this game, trying to be logical, trying to rationalize moves that will better position me moving forward and will better help our prospects of any group or any final two that I'm in of us moving forward. Of the Guts album, I want it to be honest, I feel like I'm cheating here. I'm going to give an actual answer here. To me, it's logical. To me, I had to lean strongly onto the strategic element of things. And I also would like to say that I think of all of them, I think the album name, I think, is there. I don't know if that's a song. I hope it is. That would be very embarrassing if it's not. But I think guts is the best word to use for me. Guts. Yes, I fought against what the majority wanted. Even though, despite the fact that I was well insulated enough in the majority to at least be safe and in their endgame prospects, I had the guts to not only physically perform well, but also I wasn't afraid to fight for what I wanted. I was aware of the fact that I lost control, and I constantly wanted to fight and work hard to be able to get that back. And if I didn't, I knew I could lean on my physical side of things. So, guts. And actually, I forgot the last question was give one word to Keaton. Scared.
Did you say scared or scary?
I said scared.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure. So I think if my game is described is I described it at the beginning, I'll say it again. It was set up to 5. The game mechanic of the assassin was the thing that weighed the most on my mind, and everything that I did up to that point was making sure that would be set. Once it's no hidden secret. My control in the pre-merge didn't truly exist, but I would say it was on Freemason. Once I got the Templar, I might not have been in control, but at least I was on the right side of the vote and was still able to use what I did when I didn't actually vote on the right side of the vote, despite knowing it, because I just forgot. Use it to my advantage to help control my fate into the jury phase. From there, it was working with the people that I was close with to get the shots that were needed for us and myself. And ultimately, by the time we get the 4, I feel like anyone could have a high likelihood of taking me. I felt like the setup was complete. Also, I want to say now, did not want to take Jacob out at 6 at any point. And never was going to. Pretended I consider it. No. And then at 4 again, was going to give him fire at least. If so, there's that. Look, I might have not known your dog's name, LJ, but at least I can look this up and know that Guts is just the name of the album. So I have the ability to look things up, so I did take that. I don't know any of the music myself. Olivia Rodrigo not in my wheelhouse, but just based off titles, I would say making the bed, in the sense that I'm making my bed, I'm laying in this. I play the game. I'm happy with what it is. I will own every single part of it, and I feel like it overall is a strong game that does deserve a win. I feel like I played it very well, and it got me here in places where a lot of times it might not. So I'm very happy with how it went. And for Jacob, I think the one word that described his game is physical. Majorly without that, he might not be here.
All right. So with that, we are now going to move on to our next member of the agency. When it comes to musical performances, I don't know who's best than our resident BFA in acting, Marcelo. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, go.
I yield my time. Just kidding, I don't. That's a lie. I'm so kidding. Please don't think I'm being serious. Anyway, congratulations to the both of you. You look absolutely exquisite. And we are here to talk about you and not about me. But I just want to say, congrats. You've done what a lot of us wish we could do, but obviously we couldn't. My question first is about perception of your game. So I'm going to start with, I just need one answer and no explanation. If you could describe your game as a RuPaul's Drag Race queen, who would it be and why? And I'll start with Jacob first.
All those drag race sheets I've done with Mac now are finally paying off. Let me go. Latrice Royale.
And Keaton?
Look, I feel like this is a little better than what I did with LJ. I don't watch Drag Race, unfortunately. I wish I could give you any sort of answer here. I don't even know. I just don't pay attention to Drag Race. I apologize, Marcelo.
No, don't apologize. You're good. All right. So based on the perception of the jury on how your games are going so far, Keaton, my perception of you and something that has been kind of confirmed in the jury is you played a little like Kendall Gender from RuPaul or from Drag Race Canada season 2. To explain who she is, she got runner-up in season 2. She was in a Brat Pack alliance with her sisters Cynthia Kiss, who in this case would be Karen, and Geometric, who in this case would be Corey. Like they worked together, not like RuPaul's Drag Race is like a game where you work together to vote people out, but they did like a lot of stuff together and like they were seen as a trio. So you, Karen, and Corey were kind of seen as like this trio. So that's why I give you Kendall Gender. And then Jacob, Latrice is a good answer, but for me, your game reminded me of Gabriella Labucci from Drag Race Down Under season 3. Shout out Mac, the Down Under queen. Even though I don't know why, but she did get runner up. She slayed some lip syncs and then got to where she is. She won competitions. You won immunities. So like, that's something. So I just wanted to do a little fun game. Now, my next fun game is we're going to do a classic jury question with a twist. So Jacob, I need you to close your eyes. And Keaton, I need you to keep your eyes open and watch what Jacob is doing. So Jacob, you're going to raise your hand for whose votes you think you have in the jury. So first is Kevin, LJ, Allie, myself, Crispy, Karen, Jay, Corey, Mike. I gave that out of order. You can open your eyes now, Jacob. And now Keaton, close your eyes. And Jacob, you can watch. Kevin, LJ, Allie, myself, Crispy, Jay, Karen, Mike, and Corey. Okay, amazing. Thank you. You can put your hand down. You go. So both of you saw what you think each person thinks has their juror vote. So just because there were relationships that you may not know that Keaton had Jacob, and Keaton, there's relationships you might not know that Jacob had. So my next question is, in this game, what was the lowest point of this game for you that you felt like this probably could be my last round or setting up for my last round in the game? Keaton, we'll start with you.
I think it was just immediately after Buckley left. That was my final two. That was the person I was trying to commit myself to the most. And because of my own decision, he ultimately left the game. Yeah, I was sad for a day. Like, I felt like, oh shit, the thing I was working towards has crumbled. What am I gonna do? And then the next day, Buckley would not want me to just give up. Like, he was the one I was riding with. He would have not wanted me to just wallow in my own shit because I made a mistake. I'm onward and upward. I'm playing for myself now. It was already a setup from the beginning for what I wanted to do. And now I'm not doing it for both of us. I'm doing it for just me. So I'm continuing forward and doing what I have to do to get there. But that night, I was at the worst I was mentally the entire game.
Thank you. Jacob?
Honestly, it's a tie between two. The first one was after your vote off. I had spent a good chunk of this game targeting you, and for the one round where technically I get what I want, for me to be omitted from this plan, I was very confused. I was very perplexed. I felt like I lost everything. I lost my core alliance. I lost any social capital I may have at that point. So I felt like at that point, I needed to either win out or pitch myself as either a free agent or a goat to be taken to the end. Like, and especially it sucked really hard for me to see you go, not because I didn't want that to happen, but because of the conversation that we had at 10 when I let you into the vault and talking about Epcot and finally having that closure I've been waiting years to have. And I feel like that was an opportunity long lost to where I could have worked harder with you. And then the other one was the J boot. I still to this day don't believe that Jay was gunning for me. I could be stupid. I could be misguided in that. And someone could have egged him on to say, oh, Jacob's gunning for you. You got a gun for Jacob. Or maybe it was out of necessity for him to survive. That the only person he could throw as a name over myself was me. Over himself was me. And even as early as that morning, I was thinking to myself, how can me and Jay get out of this one? Because much like Keaton, I had a lot of faith and a lot of trust in Jay. I don't cry when playing these games. Like I get emotional. I experience the stress. I experience the anxiety, and those elements of the game we're never immune from those. We may be immune from a vote, all those immunities that I won, but I'm never immune from the emotional and human elements of the game. I cried because I just did not want to believe it. That was somebody who, if not Keaton, I wanted to take to the end. Not for jury prospects, but because I built a strong relationship with him. So those are my two lowest points in the game where.
Thank you. Time check. How much time do I have left?
Yes, you have 2 minutes and 34 seconds left.
4, 3, 2, 1. Now I have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. No, I'm kidding. All right. In this game, there's outwit, outplay, outlast, but we're gonna flip that and do vulnerability, tenacity, and adaptability. What do you believe exemplifies your entire game? Were you very vulnerable? Were you adaptable? Or were you tenacious? Just one word. I don't need an explanation. Keaton, we'll start with you.
Adaptable.
And Jacob will end with you.
Tenacious.
Slay. I noticed in this game, and this is not a dig at any of you, but I noticed in this game that both of you really didn't give a fuck about me in this game, which is like real. But I do adore you both. Jacob, we obviously have played BB Disney Epcot together, which was amazing. Keaton, we lived in a fucking house in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee together. So like the both of you share a lot of love together with like in my heart. I love you both. I went into this thinking one person was winning the game, and then I am now into this thinking that the other person may be winning the game, but keep fighting, both of you. Continue to tell your story. You both have journeys that brought you here. Make sure that you are highlighting the moments. You have a couple of jurors who will be coming up. Everyone is open-minded in the sense of like they want to hear your stories. Oh my God, you should not have done that because now I'm going to be talking for a full straight minute. Let's go. So y'all better shine. Y'all better be bright. Y'all better be it. Remember that the game does not stop now. The game is still going on. You got to believe. You got to hear yourselves. You got to hear the other people. You got to make sure that what you're saying can help you further your game. The game's not over until Topher says the winner of Kaleidoscope season 4 is yada yada yada. Now I have 30 seconds to talk about myself. So shout out to all the girls, all the gays, all the they, everyone. Just like shout out. Oh my God, it just froze. 15 seconds, 14, 13, 12, 11. The last 10 seconds I have, I just have to say one thing, and I want you all to answer. What do you believe? What do you think your game changed for the better when you joined the mafia with Matt and I?
Booted. Like, absolutely booted. Okay. So next up, we have our greatest 7th placer of all time, and that is Mr. Crispy. Crispy, this is your time, your floor. Are you ready? No. And greatest beard of all time as well. I would like to point that out.
I am ready now, Topher.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, Final Two. The both of you look fine. So I had a question ready, but my dearest bestie, Marcelo, stole it from me. So we're going on the fly here. Jacob, I want to start with you. You did say something that kind of caught my attention in a previous answer. You had said that there was no way that you and I would work together if LJ was still here. So LJ is voted out, and I'm, for lack of a better phrase, without a singular ally in my head. Why didn't you take that opportunity to maybe actually try to work with me? Since if LJ is gone, I'm open for business. Why didn't you take me up on anything?
To answer that, I feel like while LJ going would open up a spot for me to potentially be in your hierarchy, I felt like there were other people who I didn't think you were without an ally. I felt like you were good with Marcelo. I felt like you were good with Mike. And I think our relationship and why we didn't target each other for at least the early portion of the merge was through Karen pacifying the both of us, both telling us and trusting us enough as friends to be like, look, love you. And if we could play this game together, we can play it due to what's within our benefit. And if it makes sense for us to work together, we'll work together. But please do not touch him. Like that was something, an underlying agreement for me and Karen's end that I was willing to take you far. Why I didn't take that opportunity, I wanted Nine to be that. Because after I wanted Marcelo to go and it became between Ali, Corey, Marcelo, I see that as an opportunity to want to work with you. And through my relationship with Jay, I'm able to at least get some information relayed from you to him to me. I asked Marcelo to use that dark vote because I want to be able to play up whichever side I was working on going into the next round, depending on who goes. So if Ali goes, shoot, let me play up Ali. Nobody can confirm what I did unless Marcelo's power allows him to see what the vote count is for itself. And I was hoping to work with you afterwards, but seeing my position waning, I felt like aside from maybe Corey, I don't see anybody who wants you before the assassin twist. And I think if anything, more people want you in Final Four than myself. And I knew it didn't benefit you to take me, so that's why.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for your answer. Keaton, I don't necessarily have a big question for you right now, but I think I just really want to take the opportunity to actually really thank you because, you know, this is my 10 minutes, so I'm going to make it about me, obviously. I was very low at the after the LJ vote. Yeah, I had like an ally and Mike, and I was pissed off as fuck at Karen and you a little bit. But you were willing to give me a chance to make it further into the game, and you were willing to stick your neck out for me and to get me a little bit further. And I just really, I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to say thank you because I really felt alone after that vote. So, on a game level, on a friend level, I really appreciate that, and I'm very proud of you tonight. So I'm proud of the both of you. I really am. But so I guess like this is going to be a question that I'm curious to hear from both of you, but I want Keaton to answer it first. If this was not the final two, who do you think out of the jury, the agency, and I don't need like a whole big explanation, like you can literally just give me the names. Who do you think would be best to sit in that final two?
Mike and Karen. I think that would be a very entertaining battle, and I enjoy the way they both played the game, and I think it would be very interesting to see how it play out. So I'd say Mike and Karen.
So I just want to make sure that I'm answering this question correctly. Which I think was most likely to be the final two, if not us, or just the final two that I wish I would have, if not us.
I am going to trust your interpretation of my question.
All right, thank you. I want to say, well, if I were to choose, I think LJ and Karen would be a very interesting final two. I think they both started on opposite tribes. I think were touted and regarded in very similar lights. I mean, you saw LJ be being the recipient of the most assassin votes, and Karen being tied for second with myself. And I feel like that's a battle of two people who are very adamant about wanting to get their way, of having a lot of social connections, and usually are painted as the ringleaders or the figureheads of their respective alliances. I think it would have been a very interesting final two.
I am going to say that I don't think LJ was the ringleader on really much of anything. Love you, LJ. But I am going to respectfully take the credit for a lot of the things that happened with with that little alliance there. But anyway, Topher, how much time do I have?
You have 3 minutes and 52 seconds.
Okay, great. This is a perfect opportunity for the both of you to compliment me. And I would like Keaton to go first.
Sure, Crispy. I was excited to have the opportunity to play a game with you because I think the only other time was Ascend the Chaos, and that truly does not count. It was enjoyable to be able to talk to you, have reason just to come down from it when the room swap was occurring and you ended up below me for a little bit. And honestly, just to talk about this, when that vote happened, when LJ left, I wanted to work with you at that point. I just felt before there wasn't an opportunity, and I didn't want you to be so down on yourself because I knew that you still had game left. I knew you still had avenues from my perspective of the game. So I never liked to see someone down on themselves in these games, especially at that point. I think everyone was playing decently and had a shot at getting there. So I did not want you to feel like that one thing completely crumbled your game, because you are a friend. Honestly, I would consider everyone here a friend at this point, and I wouldn't want to see a friend down on themselves no matter what. I like the game aside. Everyone should feel the best version of themselves, and these games are hard enough as it is. So I just wanted, if it was anyone in that position, I would have done it, but it was very good to be able to help you with that.
And then for me, I mean, I've only heard incredible things about you. Like, of course, we've been in, I won't say similar spaces, but we have a lot of mutuals. I'm very close with Karen outside of this, and I've only heard incredible things about you, about how you've lifted people up. You love to make people laugh. You're amazing company. You're very sweet. You're very thoughtful. in the same way that you saw Keaton be that to you during this game. I think you're that to a lot of people outside of here, just in your personal life. With you working in the ADHD clinic, I also have ADHD. I wanted to work initially in social work to work with people with disabilities and disorders because I have a brother with autism and I want to advocate for those types of people. And much like I pay respects to Mike for working in the field that he does, just any human or health service adjacent field, I have the utmost respect for, especially since I come from a family of predominantly people who work in that field. And I wish I had met you earlier on in this game so I can show you that I did care, that I did enjoy our conversations, that I did have interest in working with you. I felt that I was in a corner. I was backed up and I was as a threat, and I falsely believed we had no avenues of working together, and I apologize.
No apologies necessary. You played the game you thought you had to play. Both of you did, and I completely respect it. Oh my God, I still have a minute. I'm gonna drag this out. No, I'm not. I just want to say thank you both again. This has been a lovely evening. But to reiterate what Marcelo was saying, keep fighting. My vote is decided, but a lot of people's are not. So keep fighting. I'm proud of the both of you. You both played wonderful. I yield the rest of my time to Topher.
All righty. Thank you, Crispy. Up next is the next member of the agency, one of the wildest web spinners we have ever seen. Jay, please come on. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I didn't know
Good.
who that description was about, but thank you.
You just spin them, man. It's a compliment. All
I'll
right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, hi, Jacob. Hi, Keaton again. Congratulations to the both of you of being there. Can't not say congratulations because I wanted to be there as well. So I can't fight it. I think I'm gonna just get right into it. A few of these questions that I'm gonna first ask, like they didn't start popping up until I started getting more information from the jury. So my first question is for Jacob. Throughout the game and like during the middle portion of the game, me and Karen started I would say getting closer and just started realizing at least from my perspective, how beneficial we were actually to your game and how much work we were doing for your game. And we couldn't necessarily come together to do something about that to keep both of us in the game. But I want to ask you, at what point, because from my perspective, we had that day one alliance, but it came out to me that you had one with Karen. So who would you say was the top 2 people you trusted in the game?
For me, we were the first call that I had, and of course we committed 2 boys to the end all throughout, and I have that final 2 with Karen as well. For me, at the pre-merge, I didn't have a set number 1. I wanted to keep all my bases covered at that point. I had a lot of people who I had invested a lot of time with that I feel like was going to give me trust back. I think the biggest reason why I tied for Karen's second place was to no mistake in spite of my threat level. It was due to the social bonds I made, primarily in the pre-merge on OG Templar. Going into the merge, it wasn't a top 2. It was more of a top 3. I felt like it was you, Karen, Keaton rotating in that top 3, just seeing who benefited me more. I feel like you and me were very upfront and blunt with one another. Even if we don't agree on the same thing, we don't agree, we can complement each other in a way. We can compare notes. We can sort of venture off and have different conversations with people. So I trusted you the most in that aspect. With Keaton, I could bounce ideas off of him. I think he's a very great strategic mind. We can cooperate. I think for the most part, we're working with a lot of the same people. So our end games resembled each other the most. So I could trust that even if he may not be informing me or giving me all the information, for the most part, we're looking at the same thing. And Karen, on just a personal level, I adore, I love. And I come into this game with a very rocky history with her in games, but trusting that she's going to keep it 100 with me, that even in spite of our turbulences of me not agreeing with her or not wanting to give her leniency or give her away and concede, we can come back together and trust each other. So for me, there's many different ways to measure trust and loyalty. And for me, it was always a 3-way battle, not a 2-way battle between the 2 of you.
Okay, so then that leads me to my next question. You say it was like a three-way battle, but at times it felt like I like if at times it felt like I was giving you like more in the relationship in the game wise than you were giving me. I was finding out about advantages, even though you were telling other people at advantages. So I'm just trying to figure out when did Keaton replace me in your rankings? Because he's obviously sitting in the spot I thought I would be sitting at. So I'm just like, when did Keaton come into this? Was it during the swap? Was it like, when did that relationship actually become like a good game relationship for you? Because I know me and Kieran started on the same tribe as you. So I can see where that came from. But Keaton somehow usurping my position with you is kind of like confusing me. So help me out with that.
Absolutely. I wanted to still adapt and still foster strong relationships come the swap tribe. So I didn't want to leave any corner unturned. I come into most games being very rigid, only sticking with the people from my OG tribe. So I wanted to come into the swap to at least find somebody who can I best work with. Obviously, I have the technically pre-merge alliance with Ali through Kevin, but I needed someone and I wanted that to be Keaton. When Keaton became a true contender was after Final 9. He was the only person I told about my advantage to because I needed to give some leverage. I needed to show him in some way, I trust you. This is something I'm telling nobody except for you. And I need to put in his head that I'm someone he can influence. I'm someone that he can control and someone he can navigate and maneuver around. I knew at that point I need to either downplay my threat level in ways where it looked like I was either of other people's influence. And I felt like with you, the only reason why I didn't trust you with that information is I felt like you would leak it to more people. I started noticing how close you and Karen would get when we would make plans and saying that we need to make sure Karen's in on the know. And after you attempting not once but twice the pre-merge to target Karen, I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? So I needed to fend for myself, and I felt like, sorry, my father called me, but I felt like at that point, Keaton's endgame looked the most like mine, and I felt that through the swap you would defect and I would lose you, so I had to play defense.
That was a wrong read on your part, but we're gonna ignore that. Karen, Topher, how much time do I have left?
You have 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
Okay. Jacob, at the final 8 and 7, to your targets, you wanted Marcelo out, he went. That was part of that was not throwing 2 votes that I had on you, even though I couldn't because I trusted you. The final 7, I told you with 30 minutes to go before tribal that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get some votes tonight. You had that advantage and you still played it on Mike. What was your perspective during those 2 rounds? Did you know what was going on? Like, or were you finding out what happened when it happened?
Finally, I did not know that Corey was attracting votes onto himself and used the hoax advantage from what I believe. Because I've been hearing all day from the CJCK side of things that they're voting for Marcelo at that point. So when I see Corey play his advantage, I thought he wasted it. I knew that the votes were going to come down to either Marcelo or Corey, but I didn't expect or believe Keen or Karen to benefit from losing Corey. So while I expected Marcelo to go that round, I didn't think it would require that advantage being played and for me to be undercut in that way for that to happen. And at 7, I genuinely believed we had the numbers even without that. I didn't want to use that on you because I felt like I would just lose all control of what would happen. I felt like we had Corey and I put in a lot of work with Keaton to say that if it ties, I take out Mike in that position, then he votes off Crispy in the Revo. And he's a big beneficiary of not only him convincing Corey to flip, but him kind of like leaving bloodless. I was not trying to set you up for failure at that point. I thought we had the numbers to take out Crispy and you had an idol.
I don't believe you were. So now, Keaton, I have like just 1 or 2 questions for you, but my main question, what the hell was that at the final 7 and 6? Like, it was like a whole different flip from like how we previously were communicating that merge to when we got to final 7. Like, what did I do to like get you to start distrusting me at that point, I guess?
I wouldn't say necessarily distrust. At 7, I just saw it was the same thing at 6. I feel like you were the only person left that wouldn't consider taking me at least the 3, because there might have been better avenues for your game. So from my perspective, I thought it was in my best interest to take you out. I will say my little charade at fucking tribal wasn't my proudest moment, but it's just how I am in games. I am like, I know how I am. I'm going to be a little theatrical, even if it's not beneficial to me. So it wasn't at you. It's just my nature in these games. And then at 6, it was just the same logic all over again. But I didn't want to lie to you because at this point there was no reason to. There was no risk of an advantage or anything. So that's why I just told you everything as honestly as I could, because there was no reason to lie, and I didn't want to do that anymore. I want to give you the full blown truth.
So for how much time do I have left?
Yeah, the minute 42.
Okay. Okay, I'll just say this. I think Jacob set himself up in the pre-merge to get where he ended up at eventually in the merge. So Keaton, I wasn't there for the pre-merge. I heard it was kind of sloppy and a little bit hard for you. Tell me how like that set you up to get you where you are right now. Like, how was the pre-merge for you?
It was a little messy. I will be completely honest. It was like I only went to one tribal and I did nearly leave because I started doing the thing I typically do, which is just start saying a name and just praying it's good. But I said it to the person that knew I didn't have a vote. So without knowing it, I kind of spiraled shit. And almost had myself go. But due to the relationships that I had at that point, I was able to stay. And then the negotiation room, I got to choose the people I worked with. I feel like the trial where Nathan left is the only time where I did not have any control of my fate. After that, I had avenues and I did things for myself. To say that the entirety of the pre-merge was messy and I had no control, I feel like is just a lie because I pushed a lot. I said things on purpose to set myself up the best I could for that swap, and with the people I was with, I feel like I benefited much more than LJ or Mike did as a whole.
I respect that. And last 20 seconds, once again, just want to say have fun playing with you both. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm voting for. And you both play great games. So yeah, I have fun playing with you guys.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. Thank you so much, Jay. Up next is our iconic Portland Queen, the twist so nice, it got her twice. Karen, are you ready?
Yeah, I believe I'm ready.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello. First of all, I just want to say you both look absolutely exquisite, and congrats on being here tonight. It's been very interesting so far. I came in not knowing what I wanted to ask, and guess what? I still don't know what I want to ask. I'm still very up in the air, rooting for you both. After I got sniped, I was rooting for all 4 of the final 4 in very different ways, and you both have had very different games and have very different fights to keep fighting here. You were sent a little list and request from a juror, and it was me. And I'll let you know, the 2 funnest things would be It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion or The Unpeeled Banana. But I think we're going to take it back to the final 6 immunity. And I would like you each to have 6 solo cups and a deflated balloon. And whoever...
Should I move?
I mean, I need to be able to see your stack.
I'm gonna blow
I
my
have a
brains out.
question prepared. If someone's able to finish and there's still time, I do also have a question, but just for curiosity's sake, and I don't know, Keaton, you said you were throwing the last comps and whatnot, and Jacob felt like he needed to comp out. You both are adequate at this comp. I couldn't think of a question, so let's do it.
I'm gonna be for real. All the balloons, or the deflated balloons, are at Carol's house. Like all the ones that I bought. When you asked that question, I was like, "Fuck," because I was already in Waterbury.
Okay, well, guess what? Then I'm doing it alone. Fuck you. That's poor judgment on your part. Keep everything at all times, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's my fault completely. It's crazy because I took the cups, but I was like, because the real reason why I wanted the balloons was to pay a surprise for our anniversary. Her favorite color is yellow, and I used yellow balloons, so I left them at her house.
You have time to look in case you have a rogue balloon. And it's only 6, Keaton. I'm not a monster.
Karen shading prod.
No, shading all of us because I only have 10 minutes. So,
Am I good to just go?
yeah.
Cool.
Because, like I said, if you finish it in time, I have a question.
I'd like it to be known. I didn't throw this comp. I was just bad at it.
I know.
Oh no. Karen, I'd also like you to know I forgot to buy bananas, so I looked at Lyndon and said, "Hey, can you buy bananas?" And now they're just sitting on the ground in the hallway.
Well, the thing with the banana was first to peel a banana without using their hands. So, alternatively, I guess that could still happen.
I couldn't do it with my hands if I tried. I hate bananas. They repulse me.
Is Jacob going to return in time?
No, he will not.
Okay. Good job, Jacob. Sorry you don't have balloons. This isn't determining my vote. Oh, did you find a balloon?
Well, guess what? I did it. Screw you. This is what you get.
No, Jacob, you can still do it. You can still do it.
While you do it, you can ask Keaton's question.
Keaton, while Jacob is doing his portion of it, what is one question you haven't been asked yet that you would like to answer? You have had a good portion of the jury speak so far, and I feel like y'all have a pretty fair perspective and look at what people are expecting, etc. So,
I'll be real. I think anything I would have wanted to be answered at this point was asked. There's nothing that is like major that I feel like I need to hit on. I feel like I just want to one more time just zone in on the negotiation room again to just to show that I had more control in the premiers than people are giving me credit for. It might have not been as much as other people, but I wouldn't say I was just falling down ass first down a staircase. I was at least walking down it naked. Like I had some guidance in this game for myself, and that place was a major part for it. And almost everything I said was purposeful, and I was perfectly fine with it being out there to get the outcome that I desired. So I just want to take it to say I had more control than people are giving me credit for. I feel like I had a longer. It still was messier than my jury phase. I'll give you that, but I think there was more there than I'm being given credit for.
fair. How much time is left, Topher?
4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Don't fuck it, Jacob. Are you doing 10, Jacob?
Doing.
No,
It's
it's
6.
only 6. It's only 6.
I can't tell. I can't tell where it starts and where it ends. His name is fucking it all up for me.
But
I don't want to move.
And not to cheat, but can I answer the question while I'm?
Well, you can't because you'll have a balloon in your mouth, but as soon as you finish your pyramid, you can.
You're wasting time, Jacob.
With the balloon in your mouth, you have just wasted so much time.
Not only that, it fell still. You did all that and it still fucking fell.
Second cup wasn't there. No. Go back to 2. You had 2 left to put on there. You're wasting your own time.
I just want to get through this. I want to answer questions.
Well, you can put the other one back up there. It was up there.
No, it's down now. He removed it. You fucking kidding? He did this to him. He's doing all of this to himself.
That is kind of true.
I'm just glad I beat you, Karen. I want to say it publicly. I just want.
Oh
I'm glad
yeah,
it finally
congrats.
happened.
This is all of our 3rd game playing together. And this is finally the time both of you have made it further than me.
Yeah.
And for that, I commend you. Jacob, if it falls, you still get to answer the question.
Get it.
Okay.
Good
So,
effort, Jacob.
Jacob, what's one thing you haven't been asked that you would like to answer?
Well, the question I was expecting is like, how much would the win mean to you? And I was going to use the closing statement to really talk about just what this journey, what this game, what being returning from after I got medevaced would mean to me. But to sort of piggyback off of the point that Keaton was making earlier, the opposite. I feel like a lot of people are discrediting my jury game as one to where I was running with my head cut off, like a headless chicken, someone who did not know about what was going on, that had no control, had no sway, had no social capital, when in actuality I was in the core. I may have been the most resistant to what the core wanted as a whole, but I still had the social relationships to where I can still, in spite of not getting my way, in spite of me digging my heels in to try to get what I want, I was still being saved and being taken further along into the game. Yes, my pre-merge was very strong, and I had all my ducks lined up in a row. And unfortunately, losing Brian may have hurt my game, but I saw it as a benefit. I saw the deficit, the 4-3, as an opportunity for me to build more relationships with people, to which I think those relationships helped carry me through the merge. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, congrats to both of you again. Y'all did the damn thing unbelievably in some regards and respectably in a lot of other ways. This is a bloodbath as I wanted it to be, as I would have needed it to be. So keep delivering. It's still anyone's fight up to this point. There's only a few left. And yeah, best of luck. Love you both. And we'll see what happens. I'm very proud of you both. And I guess I yield my time.
All right. Karen had yielded her time. Mike has already gone, and Corey has elected to not be here. So that means that is the entirety of the jury's interrogation, or the agency's interrogation, if you will. So now you will each get 5 minutes for your closing statements. Jacob went first in the opening round, which means Keaton, you will go first to wrap everything up in this 5-minute closing statement. Are you ready?
Yes. First off, I want to say I believe Corey is still sleeping.
He fell asleep after the previous interrogation room and has yet to wake up.
Yeah.
God bless him. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. I feel like I have played a very fair game and one that does deserve a win. Again, yes, I do understand what the start of this game looked like for me, but it was, while it was over the case of 9 days, it was ultimately one tribal, and I did not leave it was close, but I did ultimately not leave, despite the fact I didn't even have a vote myself. From there, I did pick up the momentum and the speed, and a lot of things were more in my favor, and I was able to have more control and agency in my own game. And the longer it went, the more agency I had. And I'd like to say, importantly, at this end game is where I had the most control. At 6, 4, and 3 is where I had myself in a very good spot to where I thought I could get to the end. And Jacob had to rely on competitions ultimately. Yes, he did still get here, and I'm not trying to discredit it too much, but I did not have the physical ability. I had to rely on my social and strategic ability, and that was it. And I'm still here. Arguably the harder way to get here, because it's not surefire. It is only through convincing people that it gets the work. An endgame. I convinced Corey at 4 to not want to go for me. He wanted to vote me out at 4 potentially, and I got him off me and ultimately onto Mike, and then to him to outright say he was going to vote Mike. That was something that I had to fight very hard, because he was trying to do it and possibly could have swayed someone else. Don't know for sure, but it was to make sure that there was no chance of that happening. I feel like I played a game that was revolving around the setup to the assassination, and played it as well as I possibly could have, given the cards I was dealt throughout this entire game. It has been an absolute pleasure to play with every single one of you. I do not think I can say anything more on myself. Jacob, it's been an absolute pleasure to fight this out with you, and no matter which one of us wins, it's going to be a damn good winner and representative of this season. It has been an absolute blast. And Jacob, I don't mean to not listen to you, but now I'm going to go walk away and cry.
All right, that was King did not use the rest of his time. So, all right, Jacob, let me start the timer over. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So I've been alluding to what I wanted to talk about in the ending speech for the duration of this FIR. And people may think that it's bullshit. People may think that I'm lying and this is me pleading to get your votes as some last desperate attempt. But no, as of this day right now, I want this to be my last game. I come into the pandemic wanting to play this game, trying to help Seb, doing him a favor, applying for Disney. And ever since then, I've been entrenched in this phenomenal community. But I knew that coming to this game, what stakes are there? I came into this game knowing what I want to follow after this point. I have a huge stage of my life that's coming up as an uncle, as a brother-in-law, as a significant other, someone who I want to move in with. I don't want to leave this community, but I feel like I have to because I want to live my life. So in this game, I came into every day, every morning. I said, what the hell can I do to better my position? Yes, I lose control. Yes, I am alienating people. Yes, I don't always get my way. But it's because of how well I was working in the pre-jury in the first half of the game. People wanted to target me. I think there's more people on the agency that wanted me gone in the early pre-merge than there were. I come into this game working my ass off because I have nothing to lose. If I get taken out, then fine, I get taken out. But if I come all the way to the end, show that perseverance, show that tenacity, I think that's the most important aspect of this game as well. Keaton can talk about the positioning. You want to talk about safe. You want to talk about who voted on the right way, who voted on the correct side of things. That's the guy that you vote for. That's not why you're voting me. You're voting me for my work ethic. I worked my ass off to get into this position. Every single person here came to me at some point and said, Jacob, you're playing one hell of a game. I can't take you to the end. And I see those touchy subjects. I see those superlatives. I've never been in that threatening position before. Keane had the luxury of hiding behind people and being able to enact his plans through other people. I did not have that luxury. So every day, even if I knew I was not getting my way, I worked my ass off. I did not stop. I did not breathe. I studied. I kept diligently recording everything because there was not a second in this game, even during the breaks. The huge hiatus is why I could have used to spent on anything. I could have used to spent on Spellbound. I'm still thinking about this game. I'm still trying to socialize and talk to people because not a single second of this game did I feel like I needed to rest. From the moment we hopped off that day zero call, I had the conversations and I made the alliances that I feel like I needed to make in order to get myself to this position. From the moment I saw the cast reveal, I saw legends, I saw all-stars, I've seen people who've won games before, I've seen strategic, social, and physical threats, and I know that I may not out anybody in any of those three categories, but I need to be well-rounded. I knew socially I was in a good position. I knew strategically it was in other people's best interest to not only take me to the final five as someone who could potentially be assassinated, but I'm also downplaying my relationships with people there. There were more people who are going to take me out, even if I don't win immunity. If I needed immunity so bad, why the hell did I get saved at 6? Why did I get saved at 5? Why did I get saved in multiple intervals in this game? It's due to my social bonds. I picked the right people. I don't get Alliance of the Season, the Duel of the Season. Most games I play for nothing. People know I'm a good ally. I'm not half-assing at any point in this game. There's so many points during this game where Keaton would come to me and said, I don't think we could do it. I don't think we have the numbers. Karen's doing this. We ought to give up. I did not for 1 second in this game give up. I worked my ass off from start to finish to try to get my way because I have nothing to lose. I'm already a big target. I'm already a big threat. So I may not have had as clean of a jury game as Keaton does. I may not have the squeaky clean reputation and record with winning games and winning final tribal councils. I did not care. I came into this community with him. First game I've played, he hosted me. And the second we played together. And if I lose tonight, I want to beat somebody to him because he's been there through me through this entire journey. And if I don't beat him, then I did not deserve to win. I'll admit that. I relied on some people at the end. So what? This is primarily a social game where I have to rely on these alliances and these allegiances. I was not going to let the game pass me by. And for me to constantly concede to what other big threats, what other social strategists, what other people want to do. I came in every day. What the hell is going to get Jacob to the end? I did not always get that due to the strengths of my game in the first half. And because of my physical prowess, I was able to make it here, to persevere. I come into this game having to carry a bottle like this at Final Four. And that was me throughout this entire game. I had to stay strong. I needed to endure. I needed to persevere. I needed to outlast. I needed to beat everybody. And by hook or by crook, even when the cards were stacked against me, I was able to do that. So if you want a safe winner that voted correctly, played the more conventional Survivor game, you're not voting me. But if you can respect my work ethic, my grind, my perseverance. I want this win more than anything. Please give it to me.
All right. The final two have spoken. They have done everything in their power to convince the agency that they are in fact deserving of winning this game. And how fitting that in Kaleidoscope Rookies versus Veterans, it comes down to one rookie and one veteran. And now, agency, it is in your court. Please go to your prod chats now and cast your vote for who you would like to see win Kaleidoscope Season 4, Rookies versus Veterans. I am going to go off camera and mute myself. While I'm away, of course, you may discuss anything except for this game and the vote. Please do not discuss anything involving this game and the vote, as all of that will take place after we read the votes. And we will also bring in the pre-jury whilst I am away. Oh, Jacob, you have a question?
When from now, like how much time is there between now and when the votes are read?
Like 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. I could just grab some.
Yeah, like however long it takes me to tally the votes and get the pre-jury in here. All right, going off camera and muting myself.
I had a penguin hat, and I'm really happy about it.
What?
I had a penguin hat, and I'm really happy about it. That's it. I just feel like this has been a major support for me today, and I just have to appreciate Lyndon for getting me a penguin hat, because I stole her penguin hat, and then she went to work the next day and bought me one too, so I could stop stealing her penguin hat.
Fine.
So now we both have penguin hats.
For me, the pink hat means a lot to me too. Because when we did the gender reveal for my niece, I've always talked about the bassinet in there. I've talked about taking care of her a lot. We had to wear either blue or pink if we thought it was going to be a boy or a girl, and we're all Yankee fans, so my mom ordered a couple pink hats, so I've been wearing it ever since. I forgot who. I think it was. I don't know if I can say who I was on call with when I just solidified this, but they said, "Oh no, this is a good look. You should start wearing it more." And I was like, "Okay, let me do it." And it's in a weird way, I'm kind of like representing Jaylani whenever I walk around or whenever I do anything. Just I'm really proud of it. Take a lot of pride in being an uncle. So regardless of this outcome, man, good luck, man.
Good luck.
I'm glad I get to end this journey with you. I would not have picked a better opponent.
I'm glad that I end this journey with you. I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anyone else. I waited until John Buckley could hear.
You guys can come on camera if you want. You don't have to sit here muted.
Is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
You didn't tell us that.
He did.
Nuh-uh.
Shout out to Nala, who is not my fucking dog, but is fucking the fucking most heroic female character in cinema of the past 25 years.
Did you not hear his spiel?
Oh, that's not Twain. That's not Twain.
I would like you to know that every time I showed the tribal, I needed this. So unfortunately, things blurred, and I apologize.
Shout outs to juror number 1, Kevin, who was right this entire. Can we just real quick, Kevin?
Shout out to Twain, the actual animal that LJ has as a pet.
Because like when he said, when you said you forgot about his dog, I was like, his dog. He has a dog named Nala.
I honest to God thought.
I was very perplexed.
And now so am I, and embarrassed.
So what's got to happen now is whenever LJ gets a second dog, it has to be named Nala. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't it make more sense if that was a cat though?
Well, who
maybe
cares?
I don't know.
There's a lizard over there named Mushroom. Who fucking cares?
I literally
I
named my male dog after Shania Twain. Things do not have to make sense here.
Yeah.
True.
I'm just used to just themes, like patterns. Like all my brothers are J names, and so are my dogs, and they're Yankee names too. So I'm used to just naming in patterns,
Fuck patterns. Chaos.
Patterns, chaos, period.
Next time.
I'm just here to say fuck Keaton. I've
been waiting.
Why is he even here?
I've been waiting 18 days for that.
He's been gone longer than 18 days. Keaton.
Yeah, but I've been waiting 18 for it. The first couple days I didn't care.
Oh, I was gonna say because he got
Yeah.
that was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's how we knew it was going to happen. Because the first few
And
days.
it's been honestly the nicest 3 weeks because I didn't have to fucking talk to Keaton anymore.
No,
Wait.
Yusuf, no. If you don't get to fucking say that.
Wait, Buckley played this game?
That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
You know, Crispy, go hug a landmine.
That is such a good comeback, bestie. I'm so proud of you.
There's only 4 people on this. There's only 4 people here that I will not come for because they did the right thing. That's it. Period.
Hey, I at least didn't. Hey, we don't talk about the veto. Never.
Yeah.
Can I ask
yeah,
if I'm
babes.
one of those people?
Jacob,
Yes.
did you vote for me?
No.
Then you're not.
I didn't the first time, but the second time
I know who the 4 is. I know who voted for me, and not a single one of you won. So I feel good.
I did go out right now.
Guys, it's Topher. He has a box.
I don't think that's gonna fit, Allie.
Oh, well, you could try.
Yo, Topher has a box.
I have the votes, and it is a briefcase.
I don't know shit. We realized this.
All right.
See his handwriting?
Before I read the votes, I would just like to give a huge thank you to all of the players that have both came back and played for the first time. This is so far, and this is nothing against any of the other seasons that have predated it. This has been my favorite season of Kaleidoscope that we have done. And this season being successful meant so much to me personally, and to the rest of Prawn. I know they have. Special thank you to my wife, Jen, who is always on it when it comes to the spreadsheets and making sure things stay in order. Special thank you to Morgan, who without her, like half of the ideas that you guys saw, she brought to the table. Some of those challenges that were just absolutely grueling was all her. Special shout out to Mac, who gave us that incredible GeoCities and any graphic that you see. And special shout out to Corey, who had no idea what to expect when he came on, but he really knocked it out of the park with being able to be attentive to everybody's prod chats and make sure that when something was going on, he answered immediately. And special shout out to Chrisanne, who came in and, filled in all of the blanks. And really, this was her first shot at doing anything production wise. So beautiful production team, beautiful players. And now we have one last thing to do, and that is declare a winner of Kaleidoscope Season 4, Rookies versus Veterans. Who is the ultimate conspiracist and who is winning $100? It is now time to find out. I'll read the votes. First vote, Jacob. Keaton. 1 vote Jacob, 1 vote Keaton. Keaton. 2 votes Keaton. Jacob. 2 votes Keaton, 2 votes Jacob. Jacob. Keaton. 3 votes Jacob, 3 votes Keaton. Keaton. Jacob. We have a tie. 4 votes Jacob, 4 votes Keaton, 1 vote left. The winner of Kaleidoscope Season 4, Rookies versus Veterans, and the ultimate conspiracist is Jacob. Jacob, congratulations. You have won. Before you retire off for the rest of your life, please give us some final words here.
I can't even see. I couldn't see the mute button. This is gas money to see Carol. This is like when I met Vec last time, I was so scared of letting people down, and I was scared I was going to lose Carol. To think that all those calls I had, the work I put in, was worth it. I threw up maybe 3 times in the past 2 days just thinking about this moment. And I kept doubting myself. I'm going to lose. I fucked up. I picked the wrong person. Ian, I'm so sorry. I know how much you wanted this, but it just means the world to me. Thank you for all 5 jurors who voted me. I don't know what it was going to be like coming into this, but you guys made this experience for me. Thank you so much. I don't know if I will continue to host, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Jacob. And Keaton, hell of a runner-up. 1 vote away. It's your moment to speak as well.
No, one hell of a game. Jacob, you deserve the hell out of this. I wanted it, sure, but it was one damn well fought battle. 1 vote, man. You can't get closer than that. So I loved every moment of this. I've been saying for a while now, no matter where I place, I enjoy my jury. Sure, it stings a little bit, but I still played a fantastic game. I know I fucking did, and that cannot be taken away from me. I am very happy the game I played. I'm very happy the game Jacob played, and I'm glad that we were able to duel it out again. So close. Can't wish for anything better.
Again, truly, congratulations, guys. Everybody. And now we get to the fun stuff, the awards, the celebration of everything that you guys have put forth and triumphed. And trust me when I say everybody in this cast truly delivered. We had no duds this season. I mean, some people slept more than others, and some people were, you can't help time zone issues, but everybody else, I mean, oh my gosh, from the moment that it began and we had a crazy blindside right out the gate by somebody who threw the competition. We knew that we were in for an incredible journey. I'm not matching LJ with getting naked, but I am going to take this suit jacket off because I am done wearing a suit at every interrogation room.
Why do you think I took mine off? Because I'm tired of this. It took me one day.
Also, Topher, you didn't wear one at one. To be fair, you were in the car. Kind of
yes, you're right.
I was more Topher than Topher.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna cut the stream right here, so that way we can get nitty gritty and open and vulnerable, and nobody has to worry about anything leaking.